good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. I want to share in the breath a little bit and relax with you if you want to join me. That is, you are at choice in this. I want to share a little bit about my unfolding journey and this phrase that's present with me at the moment, which is original sin. Um, it's always been a phrase that I've associated with, I suppose, Catholicism more than anything. Not that I am or have been Catholic, but that's where I associate that phrase to be most prevalent. And it's something I've always rejected. And, have denied. And yet it's been coming quite strongly to me recently, this idea. Now, I don't subscribe to the notion that there is real, genuine, original sin. However, I've been touching deeply into places within my body-mind where I have felt very palpably what I would call a root of separation, like a point, like like a location in the vastness of consciousness where I have created a perception, a fantasy, really, and that fantasy is one in which I witness myself tearing or ripping myself out of the fabric of creation. And that place is horrific as a felt experience. And I think I'm just coming to terms with the experience of that in my system, not just as a concept or idea that, oh, this must have happened somewhere, but bringing breath, awareness, presence to the experience of what feels to be like a tearing, a ripping, a cutting of the body itself of God and Goddess. Like this. Whew, I can't quite put it into words right now, but it's like the horror of ripping creation itself, of tearing, of harming, of hurting the mama, papa God, of literally ripping open flesh and am witnessing self as cause. And this feels to me to be fundamental in terms of the way that I have learnt or taught myself to perceive myself in relation to the entirety of creation. From this perception, this, I want to say, it's like a fantasy in mind, a projection, like a conjured imagery that I've imbued with belief and a sense of reality. On the back of that, I have chosen to perceive myself as guilty of harming creation itself, of hurting God and Goddess, of ripping open and harming the very fabric of that which has birthed me, given love and nurture to me. And there's a process here of self-forgiveness. And there's a process of bringing love. There's also a process of accepting that that movement only ever happened in my mind. That there was no ripping, tearing, cutting in reality. There was no separation. And getting underneath that experience and seeing it for what it is opening me to a new reality of who I am. Because it means, in the forgiveness of this and the understanding of it simply as a generated perception in my own mind through the power of my choice to generate experiences of guilt and self-hatred, and to attempt to run away from my perceived punishment from creation, from the universe, from God, from Goddess, for my transgression, for my original sin. And of course, the nugget of truth that must be accepted is that that original sin was itself illusory. It was simply projection in my mind. And the healing of this is allowing me to see that I'm innocent, truly innocent. And I consider this to be a work in progress, something that is requiring a persistence of self-forgiveness and apology into my heart for having created this. And I recognize and realize that everything birthed through this form and this soul, through, from my perspective, countless incarnations, has birthed from that primal, if you like, or primary illusion. And I think anything that is created from that is itself illusory. I just wanted to share this as it is my journey at the moment, and it is for me of great value. And thank you for listening. And, now, there's a great beauty to bringing witness and love to what I have seen as horror and my deepest flaws, only to recognize that they weren't real at all.